Shalom, shalom. This is Ari. Slakia. This is Ari Ben Yashrala down here in the Lions Den camp. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father and to the Son in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. Kal Halayim La, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha, Racha, Kodash Ma'amath. A double honor to the elders and apostle, great millstone, who rule well and teach well. A double honor to my elder as well, a hard one, Slakia, elder apostle as well. A hard one by Yasharala and my bishop as well. Chanak San by Yasharala down here in the Lions Den camp. Shalom to the Akim, the Aquathim, and the Bunyam, the brothers, the sisters, and the children who are pushing truth that believe with sincerity through water and Shalom. This is just a quick lesson, man. I walked up to the Dunkin' Donuts, got some breakfast, and I was in line waiting, and there was people in front of me. They had left, and so I was just the only one standing there. The cashier had walked away. She started working on other orders. I ain't even flinch. I just stood there because I know how it is. It was only like two of them, and it was like busy as hell. So that's when you had to have your your patience on. Dealing with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Dealing spiritual. You just chill, be patient. A Edomite couple came in, man and woman. They were just looking. I was close to the register, but at the same time, it was enough space for them to wiggle their way in. So they just kind of like stood there. And then the cashier who took the family's order before me and walked away. This is like a Dunkin' Donuts that I frequent. She had made it known that she recognizes my face off rip without me, realizing. I go up there a lot because it's close to the crib. And she made it known that she recognized my face. She was like, "Hey, I ain't seen you in a long time." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, just been broke, But then, and so it was that same one. And then after she takes the Edomites orders. All right, they didn't even look my way. They didn't even ask, "Hey, are you waiting for something?" They just was talking to each other and looking at the menu. Like they didn't even pay me attention at all. Pay me no mind for real. And they just took their order. All right, boom, boom, boom. And then after the cashier took their order, she went back to work. I'm just like, all right, let patient work is work, chilling. And then she was like, you here for order pickup? And I was like, nah. She was like, oh, you placing an order? I was like, yeah. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, nah, you good. She was like, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. Then the Edomite male, a part of the couple who had ordered before me, he was like, oh, hey, man, I didn't mean to skip you. I was like, no, you good, bro. You good. Neither one of them looked at me. Neither one of them asked me. So, but it was just a simple fact of like, I was literally just standing there invisible the whole time, huh? It was funny. So this is Psalms chapter 82, verse 6. I have said ye are gods, and all of you are children of the Most High. So we have to remember that. A carnal-minded individual would have took that situation and it would have, gave them a panic attack or some shit, or, it would have made them feel low about themselves or some Juneteenth type shit. I don't know. But, just in those moments, it's like, like, call her like Mla Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Like, we don't have to listen to what other people say about us or do around us and stuff like that. And in this place in our lives, the Lord has said who we are. All right, the Lord says, who we are, man. And these people, let me get that. So this is Daniel chapter 12, and I'm gonna start at verse 1, and to give a little context, I'm going to verse 3, and to give context of Daniel chapter 12. This is the prologue of it in my Bible here. It says, Michael shall deliver, from verses 1 to 5. It's about Michael shall deliver Israel from their trouble. So this is a coming prophecy. And verses 5 to the rest of it says, Daniel is informed of the times. Okay. So this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there, Michael, the archangel, how do you pronounce that in Hebrew? Mishael? I think it's Mishael. But It's like I'll look it up later. For the children, matter of fact, I'm gonna look it up real quick. All right, so I was wrong, Slakia. Mayaka Allah, Mayaka Allah, and who is like Yahweh, who is like God, who's like power. That's a dope ass name. Khan. All right, so this is start back at verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people, and there shall be a time of trouble, and we know that to be Jacob's trouble coming up, famine, pestilence, lamenting woes, such as never was since there was a nation even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, Israel, everyone that shall be found written in the book. And and that's something that we're working towards right now, to have our names be written in the book of life. But for the lessons, like it, and many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall wake, some to everlasting life, some to shame, and some to shame. Con and uh you know people in the world are going to be waking up to everlasting contempt and shame. All right, we want to make sure that we're doing our work right now for the Lord, so that we can wake up to some to everlasting life. We want to be that some to everlasting life. All right, I said I was going to verse 3, but the point was in 2, but I'll go to 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament. Con. Okay, so I did con. So in that day, we won't be invisible to them. All right, they're gonna see the light of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua shining through us, shining from us, from Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. Con. So we want to be those individuals that shine as the brightness of the firmament, that wake up to that everlasting life rather than that shame and everlasting contempt. All right, because I'll say carnally, the individuals who's in front of me, look like Edomites, but they could be anything. But the way they was acting, and individuals in that, not in that, but in in the spirit of America, I'll say, Isaiah chapter 30. This is Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20. It says, "And though Yahweh give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall," and we're eating of that right now and drinking of it right now, but we're also eating the bread of nourishment and wisdom as well, and drinking the water from the river of life from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. So we have it. We have, we have the completeness of the Lord. While other people are just going to get His wrath. And thine ears, Slakia, water of affliction, yet shall not, verse 20, yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore, but but thine eyes shall see thy teachers. Con. So I brought this out, but the main point was yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore. I was think about think about the incident that just happened, recently at the Dunkin' Donuts, and then also us as Akim, when we post up, we always, we don't find a corner. We go out on the highways and byways where there's foot traffic, but we always have something close to our backs. We always post up, kind of, we post up the way we post up, but pretty soon, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he's gonna put us out in the open. People are gonna come unto us. All right, and we won't be in a corner anymore. We won't be at a park anymore. We're gonna have to, or if it's a park, it's gonna be a big park. So individual, so the Lord has us talking to people who He has us talking to, because those times are coming. That trouble that was spoken about, and what's the name? What I just read. Then what did I just read? It's like you. Like you, Daniel chapter 12. For all the trouble that's about to come. All right, all that trouble that's about to come. We want to make sure that we're girded up properly, so that way we can withstand in that day. Am I here? Okay. Since that's 1, I'm starting verse 1. James, a servant of Yahweh, and of the Lord Yahweh Shah Mashiach, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad, greeting. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations. We have to thank the Lord for those opportunities to prove to ourselves and to the Lord and to others that we are walking in the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, what's the use of having the the sword of the spirit, the shield of truth, the shoes of peace, the helmet of salvation if you're not going to use it, if you're not going to go into battle and use it. Knowing this. Verse 3, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience. And call I'm like, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, I had patience, man. I was just chilling there. She wasn't gonna take my order until she was able to take my order. And she was able to take my order after she took theirs, after the long wait. And just like the order, we waiting to get up out of here. And it's gonna come because we know it's gonna come. All right. Faith. That the trying of your faith, Slakia, the trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have her perfect work, that ye may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. We continue in the patience and the faith of Yahweh Shem Yahushua and endure in this this battle, in this this place Babylon, the elder, he likes to say what, like the danger room from X-Men. We're just in these different simulations. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua is it's like, yeah, the trying of your faith worketh patience. He gave us the faith, all right, but now he's trying us so he can work patience within us. So that way during times of calamity, while people are not patient, the word is impatient. So like while people are super impatient, all right, illogical, irrational, starving, hurt, we're gonna have patience and faith in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Perfect and entire, wanting nothing. The only thing we want is for the Lord to come destroy this place and establish his kingdom. Lord willing, I and the brothers I teach with sincerely be in that number, So that's the end of this lesson. I pray and hope that I pray and hope that this lesson was edifying. Shalom.